We were snowed in at the ski lodge when someone cut the power and said, "No one gets out alive until one of you confesses." Keep her word. But Scarlett cut in, her voice sharp with logic. She pointed out that we were all dying in here anyway between the cold and Oliver's bleeding, and maybe Rachel was telling the truth about letting us go if Henry cooperated. Elena had moved to one of the boarded windows while we were arguing, pressing her eye against a crack in the wood. She said she could see someone moving out there in the snow, a figure standing near the tree line. The rifle was lowered now, not aimed at the lodge anymore, and the figure was just standing there waiting. Elena's voice was thoughtful when she said maybe Rachel really did just want to talk to Henry face to face, that maybe this wasn't about murder after all. I heard myself speaking before I'd even decided to say anything, my voice cutting through the scared silence to tell everyone I thought we should trust Rachel on this. The words felt wrong coming out of my mouth, but also somehow right, and I watched 5 pairs of eyes turn to stare at me like I'd completely lost my mind. My hands were shaking badly, and I shoved them in my pockets while I explained that Rachel had spent a whole year planning this, that she'd had multiple chances to kill all of us already, but she'd only shot Oliver as a warning in his shoulder instead of somewhere fatal. I said that had to mean something, that maybe she wanted justice or answers or just to face Henry directly instead of committing murder. And my voice got stronger as I kept talking, even though part of me couldn't believe I was defending the person who'd been shooting at us. Walker immediately argued back that I was being completely naive and Rachel was obviously unstable after everything we did to her. But I cut him off and pointed out that we were the ones who destroyed her life on purpose, who spread lies and filmed her crying and made fake accounts to ruin her reputation because we were bored. I said maybe Rachel deserved to face Henry and tell him everything she needed to say. And maybe we deserved to witness it instead of pretending we hadn't all participated in destroying her, and the words came out harsh and angry, because I was finally admitting out loud what we'd really done. Walker's face went red and he started to yell something back at me, but Mia's voice interrupted him, quiet and shaking, saying she agreed with me. Everyone turned to look at her in shock while she wrapped her arms around herself, and admitted she'd been carrying guilt about Rachel for an entire year, that it had been eating her alive every single day, and she couldn't keep pretending it didn't happen anymore. Scarlett started crying and said she had the same thing, that she kept having nightmares about Rachel's face in that video Oliver took, seeing her confused and scared expression over and over in her dreams. Elena's voice was barely a whisper when she admitted she'd been going to therapy for months trying to process what we did, but she couldn't tell her therapist the full truth about drugging Rachel and destroying her life, so the therapy wasn't even helping because she was lying about the worst parts. Henry had backed himself into the corner of the room while we were talking, literally pressing against the wall like he wanted to disappear through it. And now 5 of his former friends were staring at him with faces showing disgust and determination instead of the loyalty he was used to. He kept saying he couldn't go out there, that Rachel would kill him the second he stepped outside, his voice getting higher and more panicked with each word. Walker looked at Henry for a long moment, and I saw something change in his expression, some final piece of loyalty breaking apart. Walker told Henry that maybe he deserved whatever